Hello everyone. This video is called 5 Ways to Make Songs Sound Sad. It's the fourth in a series of videos that I'm making that help you to understand how to play the ukulele to achieve certain effects. It's nothing to do with the quality of the ukulele or anything like that. It's to do with how you actually play. And this particular video is about how you put across emotion in a song, how you put across a certain feeling. And one of the most difficult to do is the feeling of sadness. A sad song is quite hard to sing compared with, for instance, a song that's happy and full of life. So this video is about making songs sound sad, and I'm going to show you 5 ways that you can do that in your playing. Perhaps listen to this short excerpt from a song called Seasons in the Sun. It's one of the saddest songs I know. Goodbye to you, my trusted friend. We've known each other since we were 9 or 10. Together we've climbed hills and trees, learned of love and ABCs, skinned our hearts and skinned our knees. Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die. When all the birds are singing in the sky, now that the spring is in the air, pretty girls are everywhere. Think of me and I'll be there. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun, but the hills that we climbed were just seasons out of time. So that was a very sad song. Let's look at the ways that we can make a song like that sound sad. Number 1, play quietly. Songs of this sort really do not sound very good if you're playing them very loudly. Let me give you an example. Here we are. So if I do the same song, I'll just do the last bit. Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die when all the birds are singing in the sky. Now, I'm not going to do any more of it because it's horrible to listen to. Doing a strumming pattern, strumming a loud pattern of notes, and singing in a way that is really not very sympathetic to the song, it has no feeling to it, usually sounds pretty horrible. It's okay in opera, you know. Opera is something where you'll often have someone belting out a song about somebody that's died, and it seems to be okay. But for songs like this, you need to have a little bit more restraint in how you play it. And one of the ways is to just play quietly. It can have louder bits in it, but it doesn't have to be loud. You don't have to be shouting it at the top of your voice, and you don't have to be hitting the instrument too hard. So playing quietly is a really good way of starting the song. It can build up a little bit, but not too much. Number 2, play it slower than usual. Now, this will always work. If you play a song slower than people expect it to be played, it's going to give it that quietness, that tranquility, that sort of feeling of stillness and maybe sadness. It doesn't work the other way around usually, and that is playing it faster than it should be. Again, let me just give you an example. I'll play it with some feeling of softness or quietness, but I'll play it too fast. Here we go. Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die when all the birds are singing in the sky. Now that the spring is in the air, pretty girls are everywhere. Think of me and I'll be there. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. It's just a bit too robotic. It doesn't sound good at all. And that's because it's too fast. Now, let me take it even slower than I did in the example I gave earlier. Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die at that sort of speed, it can sound really quite emotional. But of course, you've got to keep people's attention as well. So taking it too slowly can go the other way. It can make it sound less interesting. But playing it slower than usual is a way that always works. Number 3, make the accompaniment, what you play on your ukulele, sound simple. Not too busy, not too complicated. Now, when I say make it sound simple, it doesn't have to be simple. It could be quite a tricky bit to play, or quite a demanding thing to play. But it needs to sound simple. Now, I think I did that in the second part of the song. I did this. Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die when all the birds are singing in the sky. So I was putting a sort of counter melody into it. So I'm not playing strictly a picking pattern there. I'm playing a pattern of notes with a tune added to it. So I'm bringing out the tune on the main beats. And so on. So, playing something that sounds simple and tasteful and in keeping with the song. In other words, the tune is slow and steady there. It's not a fast, tricky bit. You don't play something like this. You know, that's just too fast. It wouldn't fit in with the song. So playing something that is sounds simple, sounds in keeping with the emotion that you're trying to put across is really important. Not making it too busy. This means don't add too much in the way of accompaniment. You don't need too much. You can keep it like this. I was playing like this for part of the song. I wasn't even touching the first string. I'm not even touching the frets. Goodbye to you, my trusted friend. We've known each other since we were 9 or 10. Together we've climbed hills and trees, learned of love and ABCs, skinned our hearts and skinned our knees. Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die. Okay, so playing something really quite simple. Da, 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 da. There we're playing in eighth notes, or quavers as we call them in England. So that's really quite important. And keep your voice simple as well. Make sure your voice is speaking the words. Now I'll say that again. You're singing the words as if you were speaking them. So you're emphasizing certain words. But again, keep it simple. Don't make it complex. Keep it very straightforward. Don't make your vocal tricks too complicated. That's number 3. Number 4. This technique can be used in any kind of song, but it works particularly well if you're singing a sad song. And that is, use silence. Silence is a really important technique in all music. What you leave out is often more important than what you put in. In this song, I started it with silence. Goodbye to you, my trusted friend. Oh, sorry. Goodbye to you, my trusted friend. Okay, so there we had silence. We could do it without me playing the note at the beginning, if you like. Goodbye to you, my trusted friend. We've known each other since we were 9 or 10. Together we've climbed hills and trees, learned of love and ABCs, skinned our hearts and skinned our knees. Goodbye to you. And so it goes. So you can use silence. It's particularly effective near the end. So I'll just do it differently to the way I did it before. But the hills that we climbed were just seasons out of time. And just end it without playing anything on your instrument. I mean, let me try a different part of it. Goodbye to you, goodbye my friend, it's hard to die. When all the birds are singing in the sky. Now that the spring is in the air, pretty girls are everywhere. Think of me and I'll be there. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons. Okay, silence can be very effective. As I said, I think in a previous video, using silence in a song to sing a part of it a cappella is very effective. And that could work in this as well. If you were singing with one or two other people, where you could do some harmonies, leave out the instruments altogether for a verse or a particular passage. Silence can be very effective. When you hear that silence, when you feel that silence is there, it makes you pay attention to what is happening. One other thing where you can use silence is at the end. Sometimes you can overdo it a little bit intentionally with good effect. So if you're doing the last line of the song, but the hills that we climb were just seasons out of time. And there, I left it far too long, but it can sound much more effective than rushing into that last word, leaving a gap. So that's the use of silence. That's technique number 4. Number 5 is a bit controversial. Number 5, the technique is put a croak in your voice. Make it sound like you are upset by what you're singing. Now, this may sound awfully artificial, but remember, singing a song is no different really to acting. If you were acting a very dramatic scene on stage, people would expect you to act in that way, or in a film, or in opera where you're singing it. Now, the same is true of a song. You can't actually easily sing a song if you're desperately upset by it. Singing a song that means something to you, that is a different matter, where you might actually be really upset. But in this song, for instance, you can go very quiet in a certain bit, and like this bit, for instance. Skimmed our hearts and skimmed our knees. Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die. When all the birds are singing in the sky. You can go very quiet, make your voice slightly croaky. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. What I'm saying is, don't sing it in your happy voice. If it's a sad song, make it sound sad by the way that you use your voice. Put some feeling into your voice. If you watch something like, what's that talent show that's on? America's Got Talent, or UK, as the UK's Got Talent, whatever. The same sort of thing. They'll often comment on somebody who has put all this feeling into a song that they're singing, when in fact they may have practiced it that way to actually put across the meaning of the song. It's not artificial doing that. It's actually putting the song across in the way perhaps that the composer intended, or certainly the way that you intend it to come across. So I've comically said, put a croak in your voice. It doesn't have to be a croak in your voice. It can just be the character of your voice, the way that you're singing it, the mood of the song. Make sure that your voice matches the feeling or the emotion in the song. Anyway, thank you for listening to this tutorial. Please listen to the others that I've done, 5 ways to make a song louder, 5 ways to play quietly, and there's another one, I can't just remember it. There's lots more to come, and thank you for listening. Please, if you've enjoyed the video, please comment. I love comments, and subscribe. What else do you do? Comment, subscribe, give it a thumbs up or a like, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.